Yes. She told me,
people don't talk about her house.
right. I mean, it's like
I would love to go there.
we only found out about her having the house there like a day before. So we had to buy tickets at the last minute and just move and take the first flight out, forget everything for the next day, and take the last flight in because the next day we were leaving Turkey already for Greece.
Oh, okay.
But because it was important to all of us.
Of course.
Everyone wanted to go.
Yeah.
We found a way to make it happen.
I can't believe when you came back. Guess where I went? To the house of Mary. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe that you said that.
I know. People are like, are you sure she lived there? How do you know she lived there? I go, there's a sign.
So then you can go inside like a tour, a little...
There's no tour. You just go there.
You can go actually inside?
You can go inside the house, but you're not allowed to take photos inside the house.
Oh, okay.
So you just like walk through and
What does it look like?
It's just really small and simple. It's like a small brick house. It's so cold inside.
A small brick house?
Yeah, it's like, the typical brick houses. And I don't know how they kept warm when, it was just cold inside.
And like how many bedrooms? Were there bedrooms or it was just like...
It was just like when you go in, it's just like the square space, which they put like little pews so you can like kneel and pray in the picture of the Virgin Mary. And then there's like a little hallway and then going out already. It wasn't big at all, But I mean, just being there, just like even feeling
I know.
the
I mean,
walls.
how did you feel?
It's like, oh my God, she lived here.
Yeah, did your hair stand?
It's just good that they were able to preserve it.
Yes.
It's so funny how, how Saint John, he promised he'd take care of Mary, right? When Jesus said, woman, behold thy son. And so he was in the Ephesus, in a mountain across, where he could actually see Mary's house.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's how he took care of her?
So St. John's tomb was actually facing the house of Mother Mary. Yeah.
I can't believe all this in Turkey.
All this in Turkey. Who would have thought,
yeah,
right?
I know. Because I actually had a show for Holy Week that was shot in Bethlehem. I mean, we went to all those places. I was with Father Sonny Ramirez.
Right.
And I walked in the place where Jesus had walked.
Yes.
We went to the Dead Sea.
Right.
And we went to, the place where we were all baptized like the way John the Baptist did it. And, we were all underwater. It was so cold that we all went underwater. And I felt that I had like Jesus was my friend, like my friend, like you,
right.
Somebody I could touch,
right.
So that's how I felt when I went there, and I said this is this was like the holiest but most memorable and something I would never ever forget. A trip that was really close to my heart, and even until today, I could never forget that trip. I mean, it was like it was work. I was with production people. But
just knowing you walked in the same path.
Yeah. Right. Where Jesus was born and everything. And I was like, okay, this is... And then, you pray the rosary. Like we went to all those places. And I said, the wedding in Cana, I said, I'm going to get married here someday.
I always say that in all churches in Italy.
Okay. So maybe we're going to get married again or when you get married. Or maybe when you get married, it can be there.
Maybe.
So I felt that. So I was thinking, did you feel that you were closer to Mary since you were in her house?
I found myself, because being from Cebu, I prayed to Santo Niño 90%. Okay, no, that's not even true. 99% of the time.
Oh, okay.
Like all of a sudden, I'm including the Virgin Mary.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's, it's like, but the whole time I was there, I was just like, wow, she lived here.
Yeah.
She lived here. It's like I was like, she lived here. I was just like repeating it to myself, and just like looking at everything. I was just like, if I could I was just taking mental pictures because you can't take pictures.
You can't, yes.
So I was just like looking at everything.
Yeah.
Everyone was out already.
And you can imagine like if I were here, I lived here. I mean, how did she feel? How did she keep away from the cold?
And I was still inside. And then because I was taking so long, this whole group came of foreigners, and they started a prayer. And it's so nice to see
In what language?
It was English, but they all had blonde hair, and they're all like a little older than us. But it's nice to see a lot of Catholics.
Yes,
like
praying together.
You'd think, okay, Catholics are probably just the Spaniards, the Italians, but just they're all blonde, and they came in and they said a prayer. And which is surprising because you're supposed to be quiet inside, but it turns out you can ask permission in advance. To say a prayer or something, but I don't know if you can hold mass, but
Yes, yes,
so,
yes, yes.
So I stayed for a while, listened to them. They sang, and it's so beautiful. So I'm like,
Oh.
so I just stayed there
And I'm sure if you sing there in that house, somehow it will really become more beautiful.
Right.
Okay, anyway.
We have to pause for a break.
Yes, we'll be back with more of Cutie's European holiday.
Imagine
We're back here on She Said, and we're going to continue to talk about the European holiday of Cutie. Anyway, since she is our guest for today, I am also going to give her some hot chocolate and facial soap from Classic Herbs Corporation.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you to Jay, John, Tita Cora, and Tita Lillian. And I'd also like to thank SM Department Stores for our clothes.
Thank you, SM.
Yes, thank you to Dr. Levy Lansangan and Dr. Anna Lansangan of Chimian, Manila. Thank you also to Mert Besa of Besas.
Yes, we'd also like to thank Tony and Guy. I'd like to thank Noel for my hair and Gian for my makeup.
Yes,
and you'd like
I'd
to thank
Eileen and TJ and Cherry of Tony and Guy.
Yes, thanks, Cherry. Thank you also to Beverly Hills 6750.
Okay.
So,
and thank you to Cutie for my evil eye.
For your evil eye. By the way, I got that at the Spice Bazaar. That's what it's called. So
I like that name.
You want to go there. I mean, when he's like, we're gonna take you to the Spice Bazaar, I'm like,
what's that?
no, we don't want to go there. We're like, why?
Why? Because what did you
We
think
thought
it
it's just
was?
all spices,
Yes.
like cooking
Yeah,
stuff. But
yeah.
it turned out it was like these things, right? So we're like,
okay.
oh no, yes, can we go
Spice
back?
of your life.
In fact, if when you're traveling, when you see something, you just have to go back, go buy it, because sometimes you'll never see it again.
Yes.
So like
I've
there were
never
like
seen anything like this.
yeah, there were like stuff that I wanted until the end of my trip. I'm like, oh man, there was like a $5 scarf that I really wanted, and I should have gotten it. Not even $5, like much less than that.
Okay, we'll go back. We will.
And the photos with the beautiful,
Yes.
that was Topkapi Museum. Topkapi Museum.
Okay.
So it's also good that you ask someone from there to make your itinerary, which is what happened. So they can take you to the most interesting places, because you'll get really saturated with all the museums and all that.
So when you were traveling and you were looking at all these places, like mostly for the first time, you would take a picture? Would you write down things? Would you just collate all the papers that you could get? I mean, how would you do it?
Usually I would take photos, and then
how will you remember this is what it was, this is what it was?
Well, the thing is, I didn't really remember, and then on the plane at a certain point somewhere in Italy, I'm like, oh, I should talk about this in my show.
Yeah.
What were the names, right?
Yes, and then did
so
you write
I just
down
tried to,
everything?
what's the name of the museum? What's the name of, in
Yes,
some
yes.
cases, like the embassy would supply us with like itineraries.
Yes.
But a lot of times it wasn't followed because we'd have our own like agendas. So we're like, no.
What?
But the main thing was no shopping. This is not a shopping trip. Yes.
I was about to ask you, like, you talked about weather. I was just about to ask you about the weather, and I was going to ask you about shopping now, and
Right.
you said it.
Yes.
So like no shopping because
we were only allowed 20 kilograms, and
okay.
paying for excess baggage is really expensive.
Yes.
Plus, it's just not worth it.
So you had like one piece each?
I had one suitcase and then one like carry-on, and turkey pa lang. Because I thought I wasn't gonna shop. Turkey pa lang puno na. And of course, I want to get one.
No shopping.
I know, but those cheap T-shirts of the Parthenon, of the Evil Eye.
Yes.
I just wanted to get at least one thing per place, right? I mean, usually I collect the shot glasses.
Yes.
I couldn't even do that because I was too scared I'd break it.
Yeah,
Because
and
my
that's so
suitcase was
heavy.
full. Yeah, so...
I collect the mixers. Well, not anymore.
Oh, you like the mixers?
Mixers and coasters. But not anymore.
Yeah, so I couldn't even bring that. I mean, I saw a beautiful Evil Eye
Yes.
glass. Okay, you know what? That's not even it. I tried to make it tawad, and they wouldn't give it to me. And even if the difference is only really 20 pesos, it's just the principle of it because I wasn't able. Because you're allowed to do like 30%. So when you bargain 30%, and because they weren't giving it lower, And so I'm like, okay, never mind.
Are they all the same color?
It's always blue, whether it's like
I
a little
wonder
aqua
why.
blue or blue.
Okay, I'm thinking about what the color of our eyes are. Of course, we have different eyes.
Maybe the Turkish people have blue eyes.
Blue
So I bought
eyes?
every bracelet.
What about the
necklace.
boys there? I mean, are they okay? How do they look?
Surprisingly, they're good looking.
Yeah, I would think
Yeah,
so.
they're good looking.
And are they like Filipinos? Were they gentlemen? Were they flirts? Were they
Well,
friendly, warm?
definitely they like the Filipino look. So you can't just walk straight. They'll always be like some whatever, you know.
Yeah, but Filipino, you don't really look Filipino. Like Filipino
No, I do look Filipino.
Yeah,
they
but
know we're
not-
Filipino.
Okay, but not
For some strange reason.
Filipino look is like maybe morena.
Oh well, yeah,
so
yeah.
not so.
A lot of times, like I'd see a Filipino,
Or
I'm
they
like,
just like you because
Yeah.
you're Asian.
I don't know. I'd be like Pinoy, and some of the Pinoys would go, "Ay, Filipino ka pala."
See?
So I'm like,
Kasi you don't look
oo naman.
Filipino.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you meet any interesting boys?
Yeah, a couple, but you know, you never really want to take it anywhere because
Oh, yeah. I mean, like,
you're
you know,
transient. Yeah.
But they're friendly like the Filipinos. Or
Yeah,
not?
yeah. In fact, like they'd go out of their way to just
Give you directions and stuff.
give directions,
Okay, like
serve
Filipinos,
you,
yes.
whatever. So yeah, I met a lot of really nice people, especially the people working for the embassies who were always, you know, with us.
Did you see
They-
any like quality in them that was similar to ours? Like Filipinos really go out of their way to give you directions, even if they don't know the directions. They
We
just
didn't
try
really
and
need
pretend.
directions because we always had a guide per city, somebody who spoke both English for us and their local language.
I mean,
so
like-
which was our guy that got left behind in the train. His name was Kadir, and the funny thing is I couldn't remember his name for the life of me.
Kadir, it's so easy to
No, so I kept
remember.
saying when I'd call him, I'm like Kadir.
Kadir, yeah,
I'd
it's
say
so easy to
Kadir in my
remember.
head. So I'm like, okay, I found a way to memorize his name. They're like, how? I go, Kadir.
Yeah. I mean, that's the first thing I thought
Yeah.
of.
Yeah,
Okay, so after
so-
Turkey, where did you go?
So wait, well, let's
Oh,
show
yeah,
the rest
what
of the
other-
photos because we don't want to miss the Ephesus.
yes.
This is another reason why we had to go to Izmir. This is the
Oh my
Ephesus.
God, I also take pictures
by
like
the
that.
way, this is this Hercules and the stone, the formations, which is why I'm pushing it. So if you can see, imagine being there, walking among that. Yeah, I mean that's like, you know, this was another surreal experience.
Wait, were there other tourists around?
Yeah, heaps. But of course, when I take a photo, I'm like, don't
Okay,
include
when they
anyone.
pass, okay,
I
take
don't
it.
want anyone behind me or around me. So my dad posed that way, so I decided to copy him, just to mock him. So this was the toilet system in the olden
my
days.
gosh.
So they just all sit down and just go about their business together
At the same time?
At the same
I mean, like,
time.
oh my gosh! How
But
can it come out?
There's a waterway, so it doesn't stick, which flows to the river. Believe me, at this point, it was cold, it was freezing. I was dying to go to the bathroom. I told,
But can
I
you
told
still
someone,
use it? Can you?
I wanted to test it out. I said, can you just block the way? But people were coming in and out.
Hey, I can't believe how you cover yourself.
When you enter the Ephesus, there's no restroom until you exit more than an hour after.
Well, I probably would.
I wanted to, but I was in pants. How the hell do I do that?
No, then just put it down and then put your jacket on.
No.
your
So
coat
this is
over it.
us. There are all these people around. So I said, okay, everyone take one slot each, and let's take a photo.
And then your face should have been.
yeah, that's what
you
I
know?
said. Of course, nobody followed. I was doing it alone.
I can so imagine if we traveled together, all our photos, how our photos would look like.
Yeah, diba? So there, I'm
Hey,
like,
this is
okay.
so interesting.
So
I
I
can't
had to take the
believe
photo
this.
because I wanted that effect, and no one was
Yeah.
doing it. I'm like checking my camera, and they didn't achieve it. So
They probably just finished what they did and they're all happy and.
yeah, that was our guide even in Izmir, we had our own guide. So he was our guide there.
Wait, so this is just there and it's probably just for show and people don't use it anymore.
Well, I don't think so.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
are coming in and out. It's hard
But
to just go
do
to the
people
bathroom
still have
there.
bathrooms like that in their?
You'll be surprised in Turkey when you go like to the airport and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like China.
Yes, on the floor. Yeah, you have to squat.
And with your jacket.
Yeah.
And your scarf hanging there.
Yeah, and
so I'd
everything is
have
gonna
to.
get wet.
And sometimes there's
I
nothing to hang. So
know.
I'm like, Mom,
Oh, this is
look at this. This is
beautiful.
beautiful. I had to take it with my camera because no one was taking the photo the way I wanted it.
And you
It
take
was
very
beautiful.
good photos.
Thanks.
Yeah.
After this trip, I kind of like, I
Yeah,
saw that
yeah.
too. So this is
Agree
like,
that I do take beautiful photos.
amazing. You know,
Yes.
I impressed impressed myself.
Okay, good. Good for you.
So as you can see, they were able to preserve it, and it makes you wonder why we weren't able to preserve our history as
I
much,
know.
right? I mean, it's so
See,
beautiful.
you just look at that. They're all like ruins. I mean, and they're just beautiful as it is.
And this is like even in the side where no one goes. It's not even like one of those main, like along the walkway. It's just you have to go up to the side and see it. It's huge.
And so many people really go there to look at it.
It's huge, yeah. And this is the Coliseo.
Coliseo.
You know, they even had a place there where Cleopatra built a tomb for her sister. Which was surprising because Cleopatra's sister was still alive. She was very young, in the pink of health, but said to be prettier than her. So they think, well, story has it, she killed her sister because she didn't want anyone prettier than her. Well, that's what they say. So we don't know.
So you can just go in that place.
Eating
in the
ice
Coliseo.
cream. Eating ice cream in the cold.
Okay, what kind of ice cream do they have there?
I have to have ice cream in every city I go to.
Yeah.
Not country, city. Because I just want to try their dairy products.
Okay, so how did it taste? Was it sour? Was it
I was eating ice
creamy?
cream, by the way, before lunch. It was good. It was good. Pretty good. This is Saint John the Baptist's tomb. The entrance to Saint John. Imagine going to the tomb of saints.
Yes, yes,
I mean,
yes.
how... So there, as you can see, it's freezing cold. I had to wear my hood. Sorry na lang for the photo. It says there, Saint John. The tomb of Saint John. So this already is, it was raining, by the way, slippery and scary, so we couldn't really stay there long. These are already from the museum nearby. So stuff that they got from the Ephesus and all, that they just put in the museum to protect. So there are a lot of pictures. We can just